Hey guys, happy Tuesday. So first off, I want to say thank you to all of you guys who were supposed to be on this training last night, and I rescheduled pretty last minute, which y'all know is not something I typically do. Not one person complained, not one person gave me grief about it, so I am so thankful. Part of the reason that I love this job is because it is flexible, and although typically when I make a commitment or an appointment, I absolutely keep it. Every once in a while, something comes up that is out of the norm, and I do reschedule something. So last night was one of those nights. I had a friend that I haven't had the ability to spend time with for a few months now. We just don't go to the same church anymore. And Glory, turn it all the way down, babe. Let her watch a TV show, and of course it's like up at 27 volume. But anyways, so hey Glory, can you get my phone, please? Yeah. It's plugged in the bedroom. So anyways, she dropped something off last night, and I was right in the middle of making dinner. Kids wanted to play, so I let them go ahead and play in the backyard in the sprinkler. And I was like, why not? Why not stay for dinner? Like, let's hang out, let's have some fun. And we just spent the night together, and it was awesome. Like, it was so much fun. So, to everyone who so graciously let me reschedule this, I very much appreciate it. I am going to share this into a couple team chats just to make sure people know that we're on. If I am on the diamond or the VIP page, can you comment below, please, just to make sure that I am on the right spot? I think that I am. Okay, I see myself. Let me share this real quick. And then we'll get started. I hate that sometimes people can't find it. Even when I tell them I'm doing live, it's hard to find sometimes in the actual page. So, okay, we are good. So, okay, Tina, awesome. Hi, Kim. So I was reading in Matthew 14. I've been in Matthew for a while now. Like, there's just so many good nuggets in Matthew. And I was reading the story, the parable of the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. Just kidding. I don't think that wasn't a parable. I was reading the history, the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. So if you don't know the 5 loaves and 2 fishes story from the Bible, I'll recap it just a little bit. But definitely ties into business. And it's something that my husband and I absolutely claim, like, so much. So the Bible talks about basically Jesus and a whole bunch of people. The Bible says 5,000 men plus women and children. So that it could have been anywhere from 10 to 15,000 people. Basically, we're all ready to eat, starving. Nobody had any food except one little boy in the crowd. And he had one basket that had 5 loaves of bread and 2 cooked fish. And the Bible says the disciples took it out, and Jesus basically was like, just start passing it out. It'll be fine. He passed it out. They passed it out, and that 5 loaves and 2 fishes fed the entire 10 to 15,000 people. Plus, they had 12 full baskets of food left over afterwards. So, the one thing that I want you to keep in mind is the boy did not give 1 fish and 1 piece of bread. He did not give, hey Jennifer, he did not give, he didn't keep half a piece of bread for himself. He gave all of it. He gave every single last drop of food to Jesus and told Jesus, you multiply this. Well, he didn't tell Jesus that, but Jesus multiplied it. So I want to liken it to this business because how many times have you looked at somebody who maybe is enrolling a lot or a lot of distributors, a lot of customers, moving up through the ranks, whatever the case may be. Drop me a 1 if you've, and I'll drop a 1 down there. Like, this isn't to point anyone out. I think we pretty much have all felt this. But you've looked and you'd be like, oh, it's easy for her. She has more time than I do. Drop a 1, because I've had 1 moments, lots of them. Then you might look at it like, oh, well, She doesn't work full-time. I do. You might look at it like, oh, easy for her. She doesn't homeschool 5 kids. I do. Her kids go to school all day. She has a whole block of time. I homeschool mine. Well, yeah, she stays at home all day. I have to go to work 12 hours a day. She's home all day long. She has time. Like, how many times do we look at other people's circumstances and all we see is that glaring reason that they're different than us? And we kind of give an excuse to that of, well, of course they're successful and I'm not because X, Y, Z. So I'll tell you, when I started, my business started exploding. Because y'all that don't know my story, when I started this, I was working full time. So I worked 50, 60 hours a week between my actual job and my daughter, because I was working full-time in an office, then transitioned to working full-time from home with the same company, but with a 6-month-old baby. So when I worked, I had to have completely silent phone lines, which means my daughter had to basically be napping or being quiet somewhere, which is easier said than done when, it's just you and a kid in the house. So by the time I got all of my work done for the day, easily was 12 hours later, because I had to keep stopping for, feedings and this and this and this and just whatever, all these different things. So I didn't have a whole lot of time. Anyways, I didn't have a whole lot of time. And then when I finally did replace my income and get to do this full time, not even a year later, we decided to homeschool, which, if you've ever homeschooled, that is a full-time job in itself. So then I was excited, but again, I also got a little bitter towards people. I was like, well, of course you are doing better than I am right now. You don't homeschool your kid. We can always, always, always find some reason why someone else can do it better. So my business really started exploding when I literally just told God one morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you every possible minute that I can spare to do this. And I need you to multiply that, because I can't do it. Like, I don't have enough time to build a successful business. And I think every one of us, doesn't matter if you do it full time or not, if you come to the realization of you do not have what it takes to do this business, it makes it that much easier to be successful because you're relying on God to build the business for you. Now, a couple things I want to insert in here that does not give you the excuse to be lazy or to not use the tools that he's given you. For example, if you're sleeping if you're staying up till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning watching TV and you're not getting up until 11, noon, 1 o'clock, you're working 1 to 2 hours and then you're repeating your day before, and you're mad because God's not multiplying that time, you are not giving him your all. You are giving him what's convenient. Because giving him your all would be changing your sleep schedule, because your brain does not function 3, 4 o'clock in the morning like it does. All right, your brain doesn't function when you stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning like it does if you would go to bed and get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. And you don't have to get up at 3 or 4. If you work full time, you probably do. My husband is, if you're trying to build this into full-time income. But insert whatever time. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You don't have to get up at 3 in the morning. Especially if you're doing this just around your family. But it's easy to stay up. It's hard to get up. It's easy to let your kids completely run your schedule. It's hard to put them on a schedule. And y'all, that might mean not every single day is a fun, let's hang out at the beach day. That might mean you sitting down with your kids and saying, hey, from 8 a.m. till noon, every single day, and I'm talking to a stay-at-home mom that doesn't have a job right now, and your whole job is your kids in your house. 8 o'clock to noon every single day is mommy's work time, which means, I'm not answering questions, and I'm talking also to a mom that has older kids. Obviously, if you have a baby, there's a different dynamic there. But you sit and work for 4 hours. 4 hours, guys. That's not a long time if you compare it to if you had a full-time job. And again, I'm talking to those of you who want this to be your full-time income. If you're only doing this for shopping money, don't worry about this. Okay, but if you're like, I don't even know how to get up to $3, $4, $5, $6,000 a month. I don't have the time. This is for you. Give him your all, give him your best, and he will multiply it, I promise you. But if you're only giving him the convenient and only giving him the leftovers, don't be shocked when the business is not working for you. You have no right to complain about not making money if you will not sit and actually make this a priority. Like, God doesn't bless people who don't do that. I hesitate to say lazy because I don't think a lot of you guys are lazy. I think a lot of you don't know how to schedule your time and don't know how to prioritize. And then it comes time when you finally, you know how to do it, but it's too painful to do it. Does that make sense? Trying to be as nice as possible here, but every single person that talks to me and tells me that they cannot make this business work because they don't have time, it's because they don't schedule their time, or they don't schedule their kids' time. Their kids completely run their house, and that is not something that will work for you, I promise. It just doesn't. The next thing I want to talk about is when it comes to giving your all, is when it comes to doing live videos. How many of you do not like doing live videos? Drop me a 3 in the comments. I'm going to tell you right now, the quickest way to build this is by doing live videos. Now, do you have to do videos to be successful? No. Plenty of people don't. But if you want to do it quickly, I would highly suggest just challenge yourself. You're going to do 1 video a week. Not a day, not every couple days, a week. And listen, some of y'all are already thinking, well, I don't have anything to go live about. You better open your Bible then, because that tells me, guess who doesn't do self-development if you can't think of anything to go live about? Because if you were in your Bible and you were doing self-development, you would have nuggets of truth pop out at you that you could go live about. Guys, ILT, that's all I do. I invest in myself, I learn a material, and then I turn around and I teach it. For example, a good place to start, go creep my coffee chats. You are welcome to take any nugget you get from those, and they're usually under 10 minutes long. Turn around, teach it on your own page. Okay, so if you don't know anywhere else to go, do that. Anytime, I'm going to just give you a couple places I get material from. So first, every single morning, I literally ask God to give me material to turn around and teach. And he does. And then it's my job to make sure I'm reading my Bible. I am turning on a podcast instead of turning on music. I am reading a self-help book instead of listening to some, trash something. I am going to church because I can't tell you. My husband makes fun of me for this. Can't tell you how many times I'm sitting in church and I'm like, ooh, I could turn this into a live video. Let me take some notes. And my husband's like, seriously? I was like, yeah, honey, that was such a good point. Why would I not turn around and teach it? If all you're doing is watching Netflix, how many good truths are you getting to turn around and teach? If you're never picking up and opening your Bible, how many good truths are you getting to turn around and teach? So, again, that would be a huge, huge, huge telltale sign that you're not doing the self-development that you need if you can't think of anything to go live about. Now, a couple things with that, I'm not saying you just don't want to go live. Some of you do personal development. You could go live. You just choose not to. Okay, that's a whole different story. I think you should go live. That's my personal opinion. You're going to relate to people faster that way. You're going to build the relationships faster. But it's a telltale sign if you don't have anything to go live about that you're not doing the kind of personal development that's going to get you in to where you need to be in this business. So, okay, something I wrote down is if it's a blessing to you, it's going to be a blessing to somebody else. Meaning, if it's a blessing to you, you're kind of selfish not to turn around and share it with somebody else, right? It's a blessing. And the last thing I want to share is show up to everything, guys. If you can't show up on the live, because I understand we all have different schedules. I don't even get on the family call every single Sunday night. Sometimes I watch it on Monday morning. I wasn't on the money call last night. I was already in bed. So I wasn't in bed last night. Usually I'm in bed by the time the money call happens. I was out with my friend last night. First time in forever, but that's what we did. So I'm going to turn around and that's on my schedule to watch today. So if you can't get on the live, if you can't get on the Zoom, if you can't get on the whatever, make sure that you're watching the replay. Now, there are 2 work Zooms we do every single day. Some of y'all don't ever get on them. Then you come to me complaining that you're not making any money and you can't get anyone to sign as a distributor or sign as a customer, and you're not working during the times. You just don't get on. 6 o'clock in the morning, ouch. That's a hard one, right? If you're not going to bed, you're not getting up at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock at night. So I would highly suggest, if you're struggling with working your business, get on the dang work Zooms. Okay, so somebody told me, they messaged me once and said, I know I'm not one of your favorites and that's not why I'm succeeding. First off, doesn't matter if you're my favorite or not. I have no bearing on whether or not you succeed in this business. Second off, I do have favorites. You know who my favorites are? The people that show up. I will give more time. I will get on the phone. I will get on Zooms. I will get on voice chats with the people who are showing up than I will with the ones who don't ever show up and just want to, the only time they show up is when they want to complain. Okay, so if you want me to help you, you got to take that first step and show up. I'm not giving you my time to train you on something that you could have already gotten if you actually showed up to the trainings. And again, I'm trying not to be mean, but that's just how it is. So that's the training. If you want God to multiply your business and multiply your efforts, you have to give him all of them, not just what's convenient and not just what feels good. Okay, so I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Tuesday. And again, guys, most of you I will see in an hour when we have a work Zoom at 7 o'clock, and you're the ones showing up, so you guys are the ones that are succeeding in this and going to be succeeding in this. Time is very valuable. And I learned early on, if you give it to people who don't actually want to do this, you're robbing the people who actually want it that you could be spending your time with. So, bye guys.